help us, Lord, to seek after your righteousness, to hunger for it, to thirst for it, to yearn for it with every fiber of our being, that we may try to live into that righteousness and to be your people. Lord, we ask that you come into this place and fill it with your presence. Speak into our lives. Transform us in your image. Do all this in spite of me or through me. For this we pray. Amen. Well, we are now 4 weeks into Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. We are on our 4th line, and finally we get one that is fairly easy, fairly straightforward, and one that is not as confusing as the rest, one that doesn't have so many feelings of contradiction internally. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. I mean, this has been God's promise all along. It's God's promise throughout the Psalms and the Old Testament. It's God's promise throughout all of Jesus' other teachings. That when we seek after God and doing what's right, God will help us be satisfied. That God will deliver on his promise. That God will fill us with good things. Sometimes we need to be reminded of this. Because sometimes we look out at the world around us and it's easy to think that evil is winning. It's easy to think that everything is falling apart, that people don't care about anyone but themselves. It's easy to blame the other and point to all of the things that are tearing apart what we want to see or what we hope to see. It's easy to see selfishness and vanity and all of these other things that would tear us down out there in the world. And many times we see these things, these qualities that we would describe as evil or unrighteous in people who seem to be doing better than we are. That the celebrities and the politicians and the drug dealers and the super wealthy and all of these other places where we look and we see the problems of greed and corruption and pride and vanity and selfishness and all of these things, it looks like they're doing better than we are sometimes. And we see our own lives as a struggle. And we try to do what's right, and sometimes we acknowledge that doing the right thing is the hard thing to do. That it sometimes means that we have to sacrifice, or sometimes it costs us to do the right thing. And it's easy to forget that God's promise is to fill us up, to satisfy us, to help us fulfill that yearning for righteousness in the world. That there is a reward, there is what we desire ultimately when we do what's right. God will come through. God will grant us that satisfaction, that satiation when we stay the course. It may look like evil is winning. Lord knows to Jesus' crowd, they thought evil was winning. The Romans were in control. The Pharisees were corrupting the temple and telling everyone how imperfect they were, how far separated from God they were. It looked like evil was winning, but I bet some of them that day hear that just hungering and thirsting after righteousness, that trying to do what's right would allow them to be fulfilled. I bet some of them took a little bit of hope from this. That even if they couldn't see themselves as mourners, even if they couldn't see themselves as poor in spirit, I bet they found a little hope in this. Because there is something to be said. That when we look around and we worry about how evil seems to be winning, sometimes we do need just that reminder that God's got this, right? That everything is going to be okay, that ultimately if we stay this course, God is on our side. And God is all-powerful. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. You see, even the very statement suggests that righteousness is not readily available at our grasp. The very statement is telling us that it is something that we have to yearn for, something that we probably don't have right around us in that moment, something that we're not already kind of filled with. God knows the struggle that we're facing. He knows the state of the world. And He knows that if we're going to be righteous, we're going to have to hunger and thirst for it, because we're not going to see it and experience it everywhere. And we're going to need to have that feeling from within our bodies, that desire from deep within to keep us going on the right path. And when we have that desire, and when we seek righteousness in this level, that it is not just a mental seeking, it's not just a heart thing, but that it's a full body expression, a full hunger and thirsting. It is with that kind of drive and passion for righteousness that we will find our satisfaction, that we will live into being the righteous that God calls us to be. This is just one more quality of the children of God. I hope you've seen that pattern over the past couple of weeks as we've gone through the various lines of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. This blessed be is not meant to be taken as individuals. Blessed are these people, and blessed are these people, and blessed are these people. It's Jesus laying out all of the qualities of His children. The children of God will mourn. The children of God will hunger and thirst for righteousness. At times we will be the poor in spirit. We will be the meek, the humble. And we will be blessed by being the children of God. I hope that you hunger, that you yearn for righteousness. I hope that the feeling and the desire to do good and do what's right is so deep within you and so powerful that you can't ignore it in your life. Because that means that God is there. God is at work in you. And God is leading you to something that He will fill that desire with. He will mold you and help you be a person who meets and fills that hunger and that thirst. And if you have that kind of desire, I guarantee you your life will look markedly different than those who do not. And your life will bring about transformation in the lives of others. People will take notice. Think about it. Think about the people that you know that always try to do good in the world. They don't get the same kind of fame that some of our celebrities get, but they're the kind of people that whenever their name comes up, you have a story to tell about them. A good story. They're the kind of people that when you hear that they've passed on, you want to be at their funerals to say goodbye. You want to say a few words about them because of all of the things that they did in your life and the meaning that they've added to you. The people who hunger and thirst for righteousness, the people who seek to do good, make a difference in this world. They make a difference in the lives of people around them, and they may not get rewarded by this world, but they sure will get rewarded by God because that is His promise. And God doesn't break promises. God delivers on His promises. Again, we can go back to Easter. God can predict how He will die and then to die. And then, if God can predict that He will resurrect Himself and then do it, I don't know that there's any promise He can't keep. Right? How many people do you know could tell you how they're going to die, actually die, and tell you that they're going to resurrect and then actually resurrect? Right? Not an easy promise to keep, but yet God did it. So we have a guarantee there. May we be those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Because we will be the children of God and we will be satisfied when we are those people. And that's who we want to be. It's who we strive to be. That is the best that we can be. Let's do our best. Let's seek after righteousness in such a way that it reaches down deep into our core and brings out every fiber of our being into that seeking.